My fondest memory was the Little Mass Choir in Humboldt, Tennessee. And my musical journey started in a little white church, and I was a part of this phenomenal children's choir. And we would go all over the place in that region and sing and bless the people, and so many great memories being on that choir. And that's actually where I developed singing, training, and my life was changed. My life was literally changed from being in that choir. I was around the age of 11, 12 when I first wrote my first song. And I was so excited about that song because I used it. I actually sung that song when I was in a pageant. And I was so grateful and thankful when I sung it. The crowd really enjoyed it. I'm telling you, wait a minute, that song was like awesome. Matter of fact, I'm gonna sing it. It went like this. I used to feel all alone, and I didn't have the strength to go on. There were many problems I had, and I didn't know how to solve them. Since you came into my heart, I have had a brand new start. Why do you care? Okay, let me stop right there. I'm gonna stop right there. That was my jam, my very first song. And I was so excited about that song. I called myself trying to go to school. I went off to college. And of course, I found something that I thought that I would be interested in studying, but it still was not a passion. I tried different jobs, and it was just not a passion. I could not shake music. I could not shake worship. And by the time I was 18, 24, between that age, I think I had written at least 3 albums. And so I was like, I cannot let all this music, all these songs go to waste. I am called to music. I am called to worship. And so once I got to the point where I just said, look, I'm not gonna wrestle with the idea anymore. I am going to fully give my all because I know this is what I've been called to. And once I just embraced it, I just took it on, and from there I ran with music. My husband and I, we were in transition at that time. His job moved him from Milan to Murfreesboro. And so we began to look for a church. I was like, honey, we got to get in a church. I'm ready. So we ended up coming to Destiny Center, and Ben Tankard is the pastor. And so we had heard that he had a church there. So I was like, oh, that's cool, and I knew he did music, but I was like, oh, wow, he pastors. And so super excited about that.
They visited our church, Destiny Center, and they were serving in the church for several months before I even found out that she was a singer. Somebody said, do you know that the young lady that is working in the housekeeping department, the cleaning up the church, do you know she sings? I'm like, what? So I got to hear her sing, and I was blown away. I was like, girl, get that broom out of your hand and get on this praise team. And we have been joined at the hip ever since.
And so Marcus knew, he found out that, I sung. And so he was like, hey, Dad, Shelly sings. And so he was like, oh, okay, Shelly sings, And so I never forget, they was having Ben Tankard a birthday celebration. And they was like, hey, Shelly, would you sing for that event? And I was like, cool, yeah. I said, I'll sing for that event. And so, of course, I did. And I never forget what I sung. I sung the song Dance Like David. And I was up there worshiping, and I was before God and just having a good time, right? And so I finished, so I went back to my seat. And so so I finished and I came back to where my seat was. And so a few minutes after that, Ben Tankard looks at me. He says, "You." I said, "Okay." He said, "You're gonna be on my next album." I was like, ah! On the inside, I was like, ah! I thought it was like the best day of my life. That was the best day of my life.
When I work on my record productions, I keep an open ear and an open eye for new talent. Yolanda Adams, Kelly Price, Shirley Murdoch on some monster hits over the days. I recognize a good female sound. And so Shelly singing on our praise team, I got to hear her at the church every single week. So when I decided to work on my recordings, I began to incorporate Shelly as a background singer and a lead singer. And eventually I began to produce her on her music as well. Monster talent.
And so from that time, I ended up singing on 3 of Ben Tankard's albums, and I had the opportunity to write for 2 of his albums. The songs were My Lips Shall Utter Praises and Let's Get Quiet. And so traveling with Dr. Ben Tankard was so fun. We experienced a lot. Some interesting things happen on the road. I never forget. We were in Sweetwater, Tennessee. And I was singing on stage, and I was really into this song. Oh my goodness, I was going in, I was singing. And my heel broke.
Shelly fell down the stairs, y'all. Shelly fell down the stairs. And but she is so professional. It was just in that point of the song where the lyrics were,
where it says, "He'll pick you up and he'll turn you around." So it was in that moment, right at that part of the song, I picked up my mic and I said, "He'll pick you up and turn you around." And of course the crowd just went, ah! You know, because I did not stay down on that floor. Now, I can't even lie and tell you that part of me wanted to stay, because I was like, there's no way I can get up. I am too embarrassed to get up and keep going.
She got up and she said, "He'll pick you up, turn you around, put your feet on solid ground." And people thought it was part of the act. I'm like, she is so professional. She kept it rolling. But I was like, me and her husband were looking at each other. He's at the sound booth. He's like, "Oh my God, I hope my wife didn't break her neck." And I was like, it was so funny. But she kept it moving. What a professional.
So I am just so grateful and thankful because I've had the opportunity to sing at Walmart shareholders, and I was able to sing on stage with Dr. Ben for Verity Records events. I was able to travel with him singing at different events. So I have really been able to enjoy what I do, love what I do, and do what I love. I was so excited about joining Dr. Ben on stage at the Sea Breeze Jazz Festival. You are talking about like a one in a lifetime opportunity. It was so fun. I love jazz. And so when I got the chance to do that, I had so much fun. And just working with Dr. Ben on that set was amazing. So I'm just blessed to do what I do and love what I do.
One of the highlights of my career has been to appear multiple times on the Sea Breeze Jazz Festival in, where is that, Panama City, every single spring. And that is like the Carnegie Hall for jazz artists. It is like, you know, making it to the Grammy Awards. I mean, it's the place to be, the place to play. If you can pick out a place that you want to perform where there's going to be thousands of people there, your comrades and other people in the industry there. It's like a who's who. It is the Seabreeze Jazz Festival in Panama City. And so I have been invited several times to play at Seabreeze Jazz Festival, and every time Shelly has agreed to be my background singer to help bring off the stage what I want the people to receive in terms of inspiration, motivation, and a presentation.
So it was just the coolest thing, and I was just so grateful and thankful when Dr. Ben asked me to write to his album, Let's Get Quiet. And they were going to name it, at the time he was with Verity, and so they were going to name it, I think, Remain Calm. And so when he presented Let's Get Quiet to them, they was like, no, we're going to name the album Let's Get Quiet. So I was like, ah, because I love writing so much. And so when I was able to write a song that would change the name of his album, I was like, okay, God, thank you. Thank you. It was so good. It was the best feeling in the world.